This is about to be one of the more chaotic weeks of my content creation journey here on YouTube. In exactly 5 days, I have to review 4 blasters, do 2 top 5s, and still be able to make it to my sister's house on Christmas Eve this Saturday. So without further ado, let's get this party started. All right, guys, so on this channel so far, we have covered the top 10 best blaster deals of 2023. This includes all blasters from pro to springers to flywheelers to toy grade with some honorable mentions. We did the basic flywheelers, we did the basic springers, and today we're gonna cover springer rifles / carbines. In other words, everything that's pro, that's not a pistol that you could just go out and buy at a retail store or Amazon or easily online for the most part. It does not cover 3D printed blasters. I'm probably gonna cover that in another segment, but today we're gonna cover the absolute top 5 best Springer carbine deals of 2023. Now, this is not to be confused with the top 5 pro springers. The videos until now have just been about the best deal. I'm not putting these in a particular order of performance or hierarchy based on what we're reviewing. We're just doing this primarily on a dollar to what you get basis. So without further ado, let's get right into number 5. Number 5, the Adventure Force by Dart Zone Jurassic Pro. Now, this blaster was an honorable mention on our top 10 deal video that we made not too long ago, but this time, since the category is strictly pro Springer carbines, it made the actual main list. And the reason it's number 5 and not higher on the list is because this is a blaster that's being phased out. This blaster was kind of tricky when it comes to shopping around for it. It held on to its $70 MSRP for a very long time. I would say throughout the entire end of 2022 and most of 2023, and it wasn't until this summer I found it at all ranges of prices. But here's the banger. Hopefully the camera focuses. $10.49 is the lowest that I found this blaster at. Full-blown pro blaster, everything that pretty much your standard Nexus Pro or Max Striker would include. You got your darts, you got your stock with this very cool mosquito in the sap resin kind of theme from the movie, kind of like a shocker prong kind of tip. A lot of gimmicky stuff, but at the same time, it is movie related. In my opinion, that just adds to the coolness. You do get a little sight, an adapter with a short dart mag, and of course, you do get your full length mag, which has a proprietary shape to it too to go along with the blaster. Very cool overall, and this blaster does not lose any of the pro characteristics that its Nexus Pro counterpart has or its Max Striker counterpart has. In fact, a lot of people have stated in their respective reviews that this blaster does fire even a little bit harder than some of those. The Adventure Force Jurassic Pro, guys. Barely by a thin red line, making it into number 4, the Dart Zone Max Striker. The reason this blaster made it to number 4, leapfrogged the Jurassic Pro, is because this is a proper pro blaster. Now, the reason it got number 4 and not something closer to number 1 is because they're very proud of this blaster. It is a high demand blaster. It sells a lot, and that's why you barely ever see it on sale. Just recently now, during Black Friday weeks, Cyber Monday weeks, it finally went down, I believe almost 50%. The normal going price for this is about $59.99, and it dropped down to $29.99. So you were able to get this blaster for half off. This is the Max Striker, guys. It is the improved, better Nexus Pro. It hits harder than the Nexus Pro. I have a dart test video I did not too long ago where I tested all kinds of full-length darts, and it shot those things like lasers. I was getting like 160, 150 out of them. Great blaster. Needless to talk anymore about. There's 100,000 reviews on YouTube. Go check them out. If you don't have one of these already, keep your eyes on target. I've already seen it go on sale twice, I believe. At the time of this video right now, it is on sale for $29.99. The no-brainer for something like this. Very lightweight, very handy. Great blaster as a primary. Get you one. Number 3, the X-Shot Skins Pro Long Shot. Now, this blaster was a difficult tug of war to get into this slot. And believe it or not, the only thing that got this blaster into this slot is the fact that its entry level price was $29.99. So that means that at launch, this blaster was already leaps and bounds ahead of their competition based on price and value alone. Now, this blaster did have an Achilles heel, which is what prevented it from making any part of the top 10 blaster deals list. But in all fairness, there are plenty of remedies to the problem, and you guys already know it is the plunger tube that lot of occasions already came pre-cracked in a lot of packages that customers had, and in other occasions it cracked shortly after using it for a while. But for the most part, you just can't compare what you get in this package for 30 bucks. And then to add insult to injury in a positive way, whenever this blaster goes on sale, it's just that much better of a deal. So you're getting this blaster with all the stuff that comes in it: full length, half length, full length darts, half length darts, pretty much everything you get in a Nexus Pro kind of package. Bullpup with a very unique loading style. There's a lot of solid plunger tube options out in the open market now. I'm not sure if X-Shot has addressed this problem yet. They've been quiet for a while, but maybe somebody like Legit Bread or Barrett has a better answer for that, since they're in connections or in better contact with X-Shot as a company. Nonetheless, I felt that this blaster was well deserving of the spot of number 3 for this list. Target has dropped it a couple times during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Keep your eyes open. Maybe before the new year, you'll see another sale. Get you one. Now, I decided that there was going to be a tie between number 2. There's just too many pro blasters. We just had to settle for a tiebreaker between the Game Face Tryon and the XYL Unicorn for number 2. These are just absolutely great blasters in their own right. Now, the Tryon technically should have had an honorable mention because this blaster has not gone on sale a lot. However, I adore this blaster. I love playing with it. I love plinking with it. It feels like a precision blaster. It does have a couple of quirks, especially if you're not used to operating it, where if you don't operate it with the full stroke of the piston and learn those tolerances over time, you're gonna encounter some things that might annoy you, like not a full prime or stuck darts. There's been a lot of complaint videos on YouTube, but I personally didn't have a problem with them. I operated it as it's intended to, and it's been nothing but great for me. Me and my girlfriend play with these all the time. We love these blasters. Crossman is a great company. They're part of Game Face. Game Face has been an airsoft company for a while, so there's a lot of technologies and ideas going into this design. This is an early 2023 launch, but it continues to be a strong contender in the pro blaster scene, and I believe it continues to go on sale. It's only a matter of time before they drop it up to half off. I think it was on sale recently for like 55 bucks. This thing was 80 bucks at launch plus shipping, guys, so anything below 60 bucks is a good deal. See if you could get you one at some point. This is a great blaster. The Unicorn is an amazing blaster. XYL contacted me in February. There was some logistical issues with shipping, but I eventually got one. They sent me one through Out of Darts. I reviewed it twice. Actually, this blaster is amazing. I believe it got an honorable mention or a high rank in my top 10 video. I have to go back. I've done so many videos. It's just a big blur in my head right now, but the complete package in a small CQB form. It just doesn't get any better than this. Quality, nylon build, very tough. This thing feels amazing in the hand. A lot of metal parts. It just feels like a tank. Just amazing. The only reason it didn't get number 1, quite frankly, is because the price. The price is pretty up there with this thing. It just hasn't really made it to the point where it can have a number 1 spot. Maybe in 2024 we'll start to see better and more aggressive discounts on this thing, but it is what it is. I mean, this is a $100 blaster, and rightfully so. It is worth every penny at that price. Anything below that is just a bonus. Now, with Zen Duo, you do get a 12% discount if you use the code NNN at checkout. 12% is pretty substantial. That's 12 bucks off of 100, and I think it's on sale for 80 or 90 bucks. So you get 12% off of that. The coupon does work on top of a sale, so definitely get you a Unicorn, guys. All right, guys, it's time for honorable mentions because we couldn't fit all the amazing blasters into a top 5. Maybe I should have done a top 10, but that gets boring after a while, and there's a lot of blasters to cover. I still got to do a top 5 Springer deals. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The Conquest Pro was a very interesting release. Basically a Nexus without a stock, but with a unique loading mechanism. If you can find them still on the shelves, which I doubt. Summer of 2022, they were already dwindling. For the most part, this was an amazing blaster. The reason it didn't make the list is because it is a 2022 blaster and it's really difficult to get. Unless you live in a very rural area where there's no kids, there's no parents buying stuff for their kids, and these might still be in like super clearance. I picked these up for like pennies on the dollar, summer of 2022. I still have a couple of them just for collection's sake. Might give one away. I don't know. 8,000 subscribers, anybody? Check your local Walmarts. If they have one of these, check yourself out a Conquest Pro, guys. The Xinjiang Phoenix Carbine. An amazing little blaster. You got an aluminum plunger tube, a solid nylon frame, A lot of metal parts in here, including an extendable stock. The only thing that makes this one an odd one is the fact that it does take these 50mm darts, which is kind of like a 3/4 or a 2/3 length dart, I would say. You could fire 35 through 38mm half-length darts through here. I've done it many times. It's usually a carefree process. You just put them in there however they go and the blaster will function. It will be more prone to jamming if you use it for long extended periods of time like that. So use it at your discretion. I know there's a mod where you can adapt the mag well to fit a Talon mag, but for the most part, for what it's intended to do, it's a great little Springer shooting between 120 and 140 right out of the box. It has some killer monster upgrades where you can get this thing over 200. It's just a great little CQB blaster. It reminds me of the Unicorn a lot, maybe just a little bit bigger than the Unicorn. Still a great compact CQB blaster. Definitely worthy of an honorable mention. The Xinjiang Phoenix Carbine, guys. Add another Dart Zone blaster to this list. Honorable mention number 3, we got the Dictator. This was the #1 deals in the top 10 blasters, just because in the overall sphere of blasters, you just couldn't get anything better for $15. Now, the reason it didn't make #1 this time is because this thing has returned to normality when it comes to pricing. Now it's back to its normal $50 price tag, and occasionally they'll drop it down to 40. I guess they went through an overstock period earlier this summer where these things were just flying off the shelves for 15 bucks. I think one guy told me in his town they were $13. Now that has returned to a normal price range, I would say this is a very good middle of the road pro blaster that you can use for any scenario. It's very accurate, whether you want to snipe, CQB, it's not that big of a blaster. I mean, it has a decent length. Aim around corners, fairly okay with this blaster, I would say. Very unique loading system, much like the Conquest Pro that I just mentioned. The Dictator is a very well-rounded blaster from Dart Zone, guys. At $40 or anything under that, I'd say it's a no-brainer. Oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but yeah. This blaster should have been a #1 blaster. It does have a few shortcomings. I'm not going to be ignorant and tell you that it doesn't, just because I haven't had a lot of the problems that other Nerfers have had. I've run this thing continuously 500 rounds and not had a single jam on some plinking occasions, but I know there's a lot of people out there that have a much different sentiment, I should say. If it wasn't for that, what was originally a $120 blaster, you can now pick this thing up for about $40 on Amazon. I think Target has yet to put this on sale again. They did a while back, but it wasn't 50% off. But this thing is now going for 40 bucks, guys. I have an entire video on this thing, and there's about to be a third video because I'm planning some very nasty mods for this thing. Look out for that video. But yes, the 1.2 by Dart Zone, definitely worthy of an honorable mention. This is actually my favorite pro Springer carbine. A lot of people don't know that, but now you know. If you didn't have one of these before, you might enjoy picking one up. They're being phased out, and as soon as they're gone, it's only going to be that gigantic shoulder cannon of the Mark IV, which there's even more mixed opinions on that. But yeah, the Mark 1.2, very beautiful blaster, guys. Get you one. #1, the Worker Seagull. Yeah, it is $150. Yes, it is on sale. They extended their Black Friday sale all the way through December. You can get this thing for 20% off. I did film a review for this thing. I'm gonna have to release it some other time because I know these top 5s are important for people that are trying to do their holiday shopping now and get these toys under the tree. But for the most part, I cannot say enough good things about this. This feels like a $300 blaster. It's so much more compact than what you see online or the first impressions that you see out of the box. This thing is tiny, guys. It's tiny, but in a good way. It has a very slim profile. It has a very nice compact form factor. Everything about this blaster is like surgically precise. The prime is like silk. The air seal is incredible. The sights, just wait for the review and you'll see why this is rightfully the blaster that deserves the #1 spot on this list. Even if it's not the cheapest blaster on this list, I would say for the price, for around $100, $120, whatever it is on sale right now, there's just nothing that can come close to this. A very good video I recommend on all the specs, analysis, and field testing of this blaster is Bradley Phillips, fellow Nerfer from Australia, the land down under. Very cool guy. I love his videos. I've been watching them for a while now. He has one of the best videos I've seen on this blaster. I highly recommend it. I might even put a link in the description to his video on this blaster. With all that said, I hope you guys are finding great deals. If there's a deal that I missed or a deal that has just come out in the last couple days or while this video aired and you want to let me know about it, I'm always available on Instagram. I get instant messages from people sending me information on blaster deals, and that's how I get all the information to be able to reserve it out to the community. I appreciate you guys letting me know and keeping me in the loop with that. Next videos will consist of a few more top 5s and then some blaster reviews as well before the holiday. I hope you guys are having a safe and fun holiday. If you enjoyed this video, you're definitely gonna like this one. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay blasting, foam fam.